Listen, I love the fall. It's when we finally escape the hot, humid clutches of summer's sticky grip, and I can break out my favorite jeans, which makes it the perfect time to cozy up and get a little spooky. But if you go searching for spooky games on Google or YouTube, you want to know what comes up? Top 20 new horror games. The scariest game I've ever played. But really, there's nothing about games that tread that fine line between those strange and eerie Halloween vibes without the fear of being jump scared. I do like myself a good horror game every now and then, but this video isn't about those games. It's for all you out there who've told me that you really like the vibe and atmosphere of X game, but that you're not really into all the horror stuff. Strange Antiquities is the game that inspired this video. It just came out last week, and I've only played it for a few hours so far, but it is the perfect fall game. It's the successor to Strange Horticulture, where you identify plants, and this time around you'll be working with various haunted and magical objects. The basic gist is a customer will walk into the shop, and your duty as apprentice thaumaturge is to get them the item that they want. As you can see, the shelves here are lined with all sorts of curiosities, but the customer usually only gives you a brief description, so you have to use books filled with all different descriptions and symbols and inspect the objects themselves in order to figure out exactly what they want. There's an overarching story about some strange happenings in the town. You'll get to know some of these characters as they come back to visit, and you can even do a little exploring based on the hints they give you. The shop itself is also full of secrets, buttons to press, locked cabinets, weird things that you won't know quite what to do with at first. I'm having a ton of fun slowly unraveling the mystery here, and based on what I've seen so far, I'm definitely going to check out Bad Viking's previous game after this one. The next game isn't out quite yet, but it will be soon enough on October 6th. And just look at this beauty. You are the CARIMARA, small, mute sorceress, born of moss and mirror light, skilled only in the art of asking. So you can't speak in the game, but you can use cards to ask questions as you explore and discover new places and items. It's basically an investigation game set in a small open world that features an old lady and a creepy owl, and I'm very excited to play it next month. It reminds me quite a bit of Grun, which is another borderline scary game that came out a year ago about investigating a small town and doing some gardening. That one definitely has a few good jump scares, but still I wouldn't quite call it a horror game. More of an unsettling, unnerving type thing. But I have a feeling that people who like that one will like this one. The weirder, the better, am I right? The Drifter is another recent release, kind of a point-and-click thriller, which is something I didn't know I needed, but ended up being a fantastic game. In the beginning, you're being chased by some shadowy figures wearing all this spy gear, and suddenly you wake up again after you thought you had just died. Naturally, there's some sort of conspiracy going on, and you're gonna get to the bottom of it. What makes this game really special is the voice acting, especially the main character, Mick. The performances are top-notch, and everyone's Australian, so that made it even better to listen to.
This thing could really take me back further. How far, I wonder?
The Drifter also plays great on a controller. Instead of just using your joystick in place of a mouse and having to do a bunch of pixel hunting, there's a handy little wheel where interactable objects pop up when you get close enough to them, and it really works wonderfully. The Drifter is action-packed, has great animations, it's super polished, and might actually be the perfect way to get into the adventure game genre because it has a bunch of modern, quality-of-life features. If you're more into escape room-style point-and-click games, Daymare Town also just released, and it has a free demo that you can try. This is actually the remastered version of a series of Flash games by the same name, but somehow I'd never come across these during my Flash game days as a kid. Everything here was meticulously hand-drawn with love, as you can tell, and the game's atmosphere really is something else. It's creepy and foreboding, yet a little bit whimsical and imaginative. It'll have you poking around all sorts of dark corners, and it can be easy to miss certain items, so keep an eye on anything that seems suspicious. The dev is also responsible for creating Submachine Legacy, if you're familiar with that one, and I really hope that titles like these and The Drifter bring more people over to the dark side that is point-and-click games, because they are so underrated and charming and very clearly works of art. If you really want a juicy story to sink your teeth into, then I can't recommend Pentiment enough. Part murder mystery, part medieval life sim, you learn the ins and outs and hot gossip of a small town in 16th century Bavaria. It's not spooky the whole time, there are some chill moments, but there are also some suspenseful parts for sure, and for some reason this art style just screams fall to me. The attention to detail in this game is astounding. You can pick up hints and clues from optional conversations, and there's a ton of choice and consequence. I've heard that it's extremely historically accurate, and although I can't confirm that personally, there is a whole index of terms and people and places if you find yourself lost or overwhelmed, or just want to know a little more about the game's historical context. I guess Pentiment isn't an indie game, it was made by Obsidian, but it is 100% a labor of love, so we'll let her slide. Now we are getting close to the end of this list, but I still have a few more wonderful games to share with you. Puzzle fiends will most likely enjoy poking around the haunted noir manor in Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, which plays like a survival horror game without all that combat. So I do play and cover a decent amount of puzzle games on the channel, but never have I encountered a game with this many puzzles. We've got mazes, combination locks, books, notes, symbols, safes, secret clues, the list goes on. Keeping track of all your leads is very important to make progress, but I found that every time I opened up the game, even if it had been a while since I last played, there was always something for me to solve somewhere. I honestly think this could be a good game for people to get into survival horror with. It has the whole shortcut unlocking thing, a small area that opens up bit by bit that you become extremely familiar with, and plenty of spooky vibes, just no resource management or fighting. And if you want to take that one step further and play a true survival horror game without the monsters, you should take a look at Crow Country. It has an exploration mode where all the danger has been turned off essentially, which leaves you with a creepy yet safe abandoned theme park to explore and secrets to uncover. So just imagine that any of the scary stuff you're seeing in this trailer is completely gone, and you can walk around the park at your own pace. My favorite part of the game already was the puzzles, even though I played in the regular survival horror mode. It's nothing like Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, but each bit of progress that you make to open a new door or find a new save point is very rewarding, and the toy-like retro pre-rendered visuals are the icing on the cake. This one is in my top 10 games, not exactly sure where it fits, but it definitely is a good one. And now, I want to hear your perfect fall game, spooky or cozy or perhaps somewhere in between.